What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we're back to talk about Alliance Wars. Scopely, in their great level of consciousness, they had a bright idea to fix Alliance Wars. And fixing Alliance Wars, is there a problem with Alliance Wars? Yeah, there is a problem with Alliance Wars, but they are fixing probably the wrong things. And this is one of the big problems. Like it feels like Scopely has no clue of what they are doing, or whoever is giving feedback to them does not know exactly what's the problem with Alliance Wars. But in this video we're going to talk about what's the problem with Alliance Wars and how to fix it, because it's actually very simple. Okay, so what's the problem right now with Alliance Wars? The problem with Alliance Wars is the mythical characters. The mythical characters are an absolute nightmare when it comes to Alliance Wars. And you can see right here, for example, for this room, we have Super Skrull and Odin on the same room. Here, Super Skrull, Odin on the same room. So, we have the latest Alliance Wars team, the Absolute A-Force, which is fine, like Absolute A-Force or Heroes for Hire or whatever. Usually you can mirror match, and because of that it's not a problem overall. But when you add up these characters, Super Skrull, Odin, Mephisto, or whatever else, or Apocalypse, or Dormammu, then the complexity of the team becomes a lot higher. And that's probably the major problem with Alliance Wars. And this is a problem with Alliance Wars. Look at this. We have two rooms here where we cannot clear, and we are struggling with this, and people feel unmotivated when they join Alliance Wars and they feel and they see something like this. The same goes for my defense, right? We have the same situation here. They were able to clear 3 rooms, and now they are stuck on this room specifically because the security and the reactor and the hangar have the disrupt or the defense down, and that completely changes how a team plays. But the problems are not the defense down or the disrupt. It's the mythical characters. That's the biggest problem in Alliance Wars right now, is the mythical characters. Because if you take a look, most of the times when a player fails an attack, usually it's because of a mythical character. So we have a mythical character here, we have another one here, we have another one here, Dormammu. We have a Shadow King, it's a legendary team. The legendary teams are usually not a problem. The problem is really the mythical characters that change legendary teams, or that change teams that are very strong on specific ammos, like the Absolute A-Force. That's the real problem with Alliance Wars right now. It's just all these mythical characters everywhere that make these impossible teams that you have to sack 10,000 times in order for you to beat it. Which, sacking on itself, it's not a problem, but it's something that people don't want to do. Why would I want to do an attack where I have literally zero chance of clearing anything? That I'm just lowering, look at this, I'm lowering the stats of the enemies just so I have a chance of attacking. So that right away tells you what's the problem with Alliance Wars. The problem is not the game mode itself, is the mythical characters. And these fixes from Scopely, this is an absolute joke. So we barely have any gameplay in Marvel Strike Force right now. We didn't have Crucible on the normal schedule, and everyone is like, no one is streaming, no one is talking about the game, no one is playing the game because there is no Cosmic Crucible. Can you imagine this? Your game is so dependent on gameplay, and there is nothing to do. There is literally nothing to do, and your solution is to remove more gameplay? I had to resort to Blitz. I was playing Blitz on manual because I wanted to play Marvel Strike Force, and I had literally nothing to do. Literally nothing to do. And this is your solution, to remove more gameplay. This is not a problem. If people are feeling frustrated about Alliance Wars, it's not because we have 3 Alliance Wars per week. It's because the teams that we are facing are too complex. And this is also about the counters. I'm going to show you some of the spreadsheets that we have for counters, and this is absolutely ridiculous, the amount of counters that we need. So for example, this one, this is not even the worst one, but look at this. Look how many variations. Tangle Web with whatever, Mephisto versions. So any team that is in red is Mephisto. Any team that is in yellow is Black Knight or Ares. Any team in green is Super Scroll, then we have blue for Odin, and we have purple for Dormammu. So most of the teams that people are struggling with are teams that have mythical characters. And like I said, this is not even the worst one. If I would show you from this one from how many seasons ago, it's like variations on look at this, look, we are scrolling for days. And this goes on horizontal as well. We have 3 different versions or 4 different versions for the same team. This is absolutely insane, and this is why people hate Alliance Wars. It's because it does not make sense that you have to play a game with a spreadsheet of 10,000 different entrances of the variations of the teams that you are facing, and depends if you are in the security, it depends if you are on the reactor. This is a huge problem. But once again, the problems are not the rooms. The problems is the mythical characters. So what Scopely could do to fix this is to make sure that mythical characters on defense, they have like 50% less stats, or the entire team would have 50% less stats if they have a mythical character there. So instead of you sacking the characters, they already have less stats. So it's still a difficult team to beat, but at least you'll have a chance without having to sack 10,000 times in order for you to be able to full clear, right? And you should be motivated to use your Apocalypse, your Odin, your Mephisto, your Super Scroll on offense, right? And this would be one of the solutions. On defense, the team and the mythical character have 50% less stats and 50% less speed or something like that. And on offense, the mythical characters, they work as they should. This would solve Alliance Wars. You don't have to remove 1 Alliance Wars per week. We need more gameplay, not less. And if you remove the situation of the mythical characters, then people don't feel so frustrated. Then people don't have to sack 10,000 times to do an attack. And if you want to keep a cohesive environment, then you give bonus to the characters if they have the entire team. Now, Scopely is doing that with these new changes. If you have the full team, you're gonna have 30% more stats. I'm okay with this. I think this makes sense. I think this does not change the team a lot. Of course, that if your team is not big enough, you are still gonna fail the attack, but failing 1 attack and then you clean up, it's better than you do 3 attacks or 4 attacks and you cannot touch that Odin with Mephisto, Super Scroll and Absolute A-Force, something like that, right? And that's how you really want to fix the game. You still want some kind of theory crafting, but with just normal characters like American Chavez or Squirrel Girl or Black Knight or Ares or something like that. With those characters, that's fine. But when you put characters like Odin or characters like Mephisto that give trauma to everyone and safeguard to everyone and death proofs to everyone, it just makes the game so difficult that it becomes very frustrating. Removing Alliance Wars 1 time per week, that's not a solution. The solution is really to make sure that no one is using the mythical characters on defense, or if they are using, at least that they will be heavy penalized for doing so by removing 50% stats. It has to be something like that, because it has to be higher than double sack that you have to do with Mephisto and so on. So I'm not sure what Scopely is trying to do. In my opinion, the best solution is the one I'm giving, and this is because I have to do the defense setup for my alliance, I have to do the counters for my alliance, I have to do the spreadsheet, and believe me, it's not fun to waste 2 hours of my life just to enter all the counters and whatever else. It just takes so much time and it's so draining, and I love Alliance Wars. So for someone that does not love Alliance Wars and has to deal with all these situations, all these spreadsheets and whatever nonsense, then of course that, well, it's just something that you're not gonna want, you don't want to deal with. We can also talk about rewards, we can also talk about other situations with Alliance Wars that could be more interesting, but once again, this is the biggest problem right now. It's the mythical characters being way too powerful, especially when you combine them with other teams. So once again, you have to absolutely nerf to the ground the mythical characters on defense and the teams that are together with them, and at the same time make sure that players feel more motivated to invest on the whole team, right? In the ecosystem of Avengers or X-Men or Absolute A-Force or whatever. So if you have the 5 characters, you have more stats and so on. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with me. What are your thoughts about Alliance Wars? If this is a game mode that you enjoy, or you have the same frustrations that I have. And do you agree with me that Marvel Strike Force should have more gameplay and not having to rely on Blitz for us to actually do something throughout the day or throughout the week? I find it pretty insane that we absolutely have 0 gameplay. But that's going to be the video. Once again, let me know your thoughts below. And as always, if you like the information on these videos, make sure to share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.